all open your Chrome or any other browser, and you can write down CRAN. You will see the comprehensive R archive network here, and you have to click that down. Once you will click it, you will see download R for Linux, download R for Mac OS, and download R for Windows. Depending upon the operating system of your system, you can choose the one. Since I have Windows in my laptop, so I have chosen R for Windows. Then you will see and install R for the first time here. Once you click it down, you will see this window. Are all the participants able to open this window in their respective systems? If anybody is having problem, just let me know. Okay, so then you just have to click download R 4.2.2 for Windows, and you have to just start download. So once downloaded, you can open the file and install it. As I have already installed the current version of R only, so I won't be doing it, but you all should.
Should we install with the default setting or should we go for customization?
So go with default setting only. For the time being, just go with the default setting. Once installed, when you open it, this should appear like something like this. Kindly down your hands, and the participants who haven't installed it yet, kindly raise your hands. So all the participants have completed the installation process. Anyone who hasn't?
Yes, ma'am,
The editor
completed.
part completed. Okay, fine. Monica, Dhairya Tripathi, Shivam, Padhyay, Swati Krishnas, Praveen have all installed it.
Yes, ma'am. Install, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
Fine.
installed.
Okay, done. So I guess all the participants have installed it. Okay. So once open, you will see R version 4.2.2 as mentioned on the website as well. Now, all the R versions have a funny name for it. So for this version, they have given it a name, Innocent and Trusting. So once you read it, R is a free software and it comes with absolute no warranty. And it is freely available to since it is a free software, it is widely used. Then R is a collaborative project with many contributors. So suppose if I want to contribute in R, I can contribute as in it as well. So this is a collaborative project. So let's begin with, first of all, when you see here, you'll see R console. So we'll just basic start with what we say calculators, using R as a calculator. So suppose we want to add 2 plus 4. Let's see whether it will work or not as it works on a calculator. So we can see that it will give you 6. Similarly, if we say we want to find 5 minus 6, it will give you minus 1. Let's see if something as product is available here or not. So 4 cross 5, so we obtain 20 here. And similarly, we can go by let's say 44 divided by 11, and we obtain 4. So here we can see that R is working simply as a calculator. As we work on calculator, we can uh, do those computations here as well. So this is the first window, which is R console, and it simply runs your program, or runs whatever input you give it. It will give you an output. So an input will be here in red and then output in blue. Okay, so let's go to file, and you will find new script here. So this is an R editor where you write your program, or where let's say if I write 2 plus 4 here and I want to run this, I can simply press Ctrl R, 2 plus R, and you can use Ctrl plus R, and this will simply run your code here. Okay. So now, why R has already an R console, why an R editor here? So whenever you write a program in R or anything in R console, you cannot save it for further use. So what we have here is R editor where you can save a program. So let's say if I want to save it, simple calculations, 2 plus 4, and I have 5 minus 6, then I have 4 cross 5, and then I have 2 plus 4. If I want to run all of them, I will simply select them, and each one of them will give me the respective outputs. So now for saving this, our editor, I'll go to File and Save. And it is saving by default in document folder. So I'll save it here only, or I can choose the folder wherever I want to save it. So right now I'm saving it in the document folder only. So let me give it some introduction to R. Let's say intro to, and I save it. So this is how we can obtain these values. Now suppose,
Madam, how you open this R editor?
okay, so you can go to File, and then you can select New Script. Just click on New Script. This R editor will open.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
So I hope everyone can open their R editor. And since this session will be interactive in nature, you can ask your queries anytime. And as well as I would request you all to just do whatever I am doing on my laptop. You just try to do it on your as well. So I hope everyone has written this on their respective systems or in our editor and have tried running it. Okay, fine. So after this, now we'll go with some, if this 2 plus 4, if I want to use it somewhere else, I cannot use it, as I have to again and again. Suppose I want to add something in this 2 plus 4 as well. Let's say I want to add 6 in it. So what I can do is I can assign it in a certain variable. So this is an assignment operator. So the value will be assigned to the variable x, and that value is, let's say, 2 plus 4. Now if I run it, this gives you nothing as an output. It is just an input. So what we have to do is, we have to print x, the value of x. So for that, one thing is you can press an enter and write down x and run it using Control plus R, and you will obtain 6. Or another method is, if you want to do it with the assignment operator only, you can write in that particular line only and use a semicolon and run it. And this will give you the same result as well. So here, wherever I want to use x, now this has been memorized by x or memorized by the R, that x takes value 6. So if I now write down x plus 2 and run it, this will give me 8. If I want to give x product 6, this will return me 36. And so on. So let's say, similarly, this assignment operator, since you have to type two different two different special characters here, so or operators here, what we can do is one another way to assign in R is x equals to. X equals to, let's say 4 plus 5. And we want to print, so it's giving you 9 again. This is another way of assignment.
Yes, ma'am. So what is the keyboard shortcut for this assignment operator? It is pretty difficult to first write less than, then write this.
That is why you can write equal.
So is there any keyboard shortcut for this original assignment operator?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, there is another way this can be read in other way around as well. Let's say if I write 2 plus 10 and I want to assign it to, let's say, y. Now what it will return you? It will return you 12. So now 2 plus 10 is assigned to y. Here x takes values 2 plus 4 and here 2 plus 10 is assigned to value y. So all these three ways you can assign an operator or assign variables any value you want to assign it. Now, suppose I want to find, since here it is y and I want to print capital Y. So here I'll see an error that object Y not found. You all will see on your respective systems that object Y not found. So here I want to mention that your R is case sensitive. So be careful whatever name you have given to your variable, you should keep in mind that that R is case sensitive to, so you should write the same variable which you have used here to print here as well. If you write it down small x and print it down capital X, R won't return you anything. This will simply create an error that object Y not found. So I hope I am clear to this point. If anyone has any issue, they can ask. I hope no. Okay, so fine. Now, here we see that after moving on to this part, now let's start with whether we can store more than one value in X or not. So yes, or in any variable. So yes, we can store, and that is a vector if it is one dimensional. So for assigning a vector, we use C. And this is concatenate. So this will simply concatenate values, let's say 2, and separated by comma. So now what my X will return, let's see. my x will return 2, 6, 8, 10, 11. So now, here what R has done, for x, 2, 6, 8, 10, 11 values are assigned. Now, let us suppose what happens if I have, while writing it down, I have created I have given an extra comma, but I haven't written any value here. So what will happen? Will it be same? So argument 6 is empty. But still, it is creating an error. But if I print x, it will return me 2, 6, 8, 10, 11. So what it is doing, it is simply remembering the value of x previously assigned. Whenever an error is created for a particular variable, or whenever you are trying to store something in a variable and it is creating an error, if you have assigned that particular variable some other value previously, R will return you that particular value. Am I clear to you all? Fine. Okay, so here R will create an error. Now let's see. I'll just keep it simply like this. Now y equals to 3 comma 6. Now this is my y, and now I want to find x plus y. What this will give me? So what R has written? 2 plus 4, 6 plus 6, 8 plus 3, 10 plus 2, 11 plus 3, and so on. So R has given me the sum of the corresponding values of x and y. Similarly, you can find x product y, x divided by y, and x minus y. If I run them one by one, these are the results I will obtain. So these are the different values of x plus y, x cross y, x by y, and x minus y, and so on. So what R is doing, it is simply applying the particular operator on the corresponding elements of the vector x and y. Now what happens? What happens if I introduce a variable z and try to, let me say, 5, 3, 1. And I try to sum x and z. As we can see, the two are different in a length. So what will happen? So what will happen that y plus z, since I haven't run z, so it created an error that object z not found. So now z is memorized by R, and if I run it, see, what does it give you? Y plus z, longer object length is not a multiple of shorter object length. So shorter object is your z and longer object is your y. And it is also saying not a multiple. So here we have 5 elements and here we have 3 elements only, and we know that 5 is not a multiple of 3. So what happens if it would have been the multiple of 3? So let's say I introduce another variable or another value 4 again. Now I run 4, z is already memorized, and now y plus z. So what happens here? 4 plus 5, 6 plus 3, 3 plus 1, and then it repeated z again, and 5 plus 2, 3 plus 13, and 1 plus 4 has been given. So whenever your shorter object is a multiple of the longer object, then they will simply replicate the shorter one and do the operations. Let's see whether product is also running in the same way or not. So it is giving you the same result again. It is doing again repeating z and multiplying it with values of y. So these are the basic or whenever there is something which is not understood by R, it will give you an error, or it will simply give warning messages sometimes if there are some kind of errors which should not be there. So it will create warning message or it will create an error. So here when we were taking y plus z and z was not there, so it was an error, and here it is a warning message. Fine. Now, okay, so we have here done some basic operations in R. Now, one thing I would like to incorporate. Let's say if we want to do something else. Let's say we want to find mean of the observations given in Y. So whether it is there any function for mean in R or not? So for that, first of all, I would like to introduce you to help. We'll go with help and we'll see whether there is some function named mean. So when I typed help mean, it took me to my browser and it is showing me that there is a function mean which gives me an arithmetic mean with these values. So let's see. I'll apply it here. Mean of x. So it's returning me 7.4. Let's say if I want to find mean of y. It is giving me this value. If I want to find mean of y plus z, it will return me this value. So first of all, it will sum the values of y and z and then took its mean. So help can be used to find the basic operations which we want to find. Suppose since we are new to R, if we want to do it by ourselves only, if we want to learn R by ourselves only, we can do it. So simply you can go with here help. As you can see here also, it gives us that help can be used for online help or help start for an HTML browser interface to help. So whatever the function be, if you want to find, just give me any name. I'll try whether it is there in R or not. Just give me a name of some function.
Ma'am, similarly median.
Median. Let's check whether median is there or not. So yes, median is there. We can find median and just put the values and we'll obtain the median value. So let's see. There is a typing mistake. So my x values were 4, 6, 3, 2, 13 and 4 and median is y. We can check that down as well. Since what we usually do is we sort it. So we have a function of sort So yes, we do have. So let's sort the data. Sort y. So this will give me the value 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 13. And as we all can see that the median is 4 only. So here it has given the correct way of finding median. So there are various, we can say there are various functions available in R which can be used. These are some of the really basic or very basic functions used in R. Let's say any other one, some advanced something.
Mode of y.
Mode of y. So I'll just simply put down mode of y here. Let's see whether it works or not. Okay, so it gives me numeric. So mode in R works as, or it gives the data type of the particular variable. So here y takes numeric value, so it has written me numeric, but there is no mode is not giving me the mode which we talk about in statistics. So here mode is not used in that way. Mode here is giving you the simply data type of your object.
Actually, here mode should be 4 statistically.
Yeah, but here it is giving you numeric as mode is a function which is available in R and it gives the data type of your particular variable.
So here mode means it gives a data type.
Yeah, it here in R it mode gives you data type only. Yes. Okay. So now, suppose mode is not here. So can we find any other any other function to find the mode which we use in statistics? So we can simply go to our browser and we can go on CRAN. And on CRAN, when we open it up, we'll see on the left hand side that there is packages. And once we open packages, it will give you the available packages. So what are these packages? These are contributed packages. As I earlier mentioned that R is a contributory project. So people contribute to R in different ways, and those different ways are in the forms of packages. So they form a certain library of their own, and they contributed to us so that other people also can use that particular library. So here we have table of available packages sorted by date of publication and table of available packages sorted by name. So let's go with this. So there are various, you can see there are various packages available in R. So let's see if we can find any package which gives us mode. It is giving us model.
Maybe statistics.
So we have statistics, let's say. So there are around 256 packages having the word statistics in it. We have a package statistics here. So let's go to that. Sir, if you can help me with the keywords, just let me know the correct, I'll just call it down here only, packages, and I will go to install packages. Okay, so just a minute, let me go again. Okay, everyone can open their R window only, and here we have packages here. We can load package. Load package is simply which is available in already in our library on our system, since by default our installs or are while installation download certain R packages as well. If there is no package and such, then we can install package. So there are various CRAN mirrors from where you can download. So you can simply go to, if here India is not there, fine, you can go to other mirrors. Just a minute. Okay, let's see, do we have sets here? Okay, fine. So these are the packages which were already there in the library. So we have sets here, and we can go down here. And library. So let's see, do we have mode or something? It is again returning us. Okay, so let's try it down. So library stats can be used here. Just let me check. Okay, I'll come to this again, just on short.
Okay, madam,
Now,
you proceed, that we will work out.
I'll proceed.
Proceed.
Yeah, just a minute. Actually, most of the time I use my own functions, so that is why no issue. I'll just let you know. Okay, so this is how you can download your packages. So just package on, just this is simply load package. Now it is a kind of difficult to install packages in R. So there is another environment which is widely used, which is RStudio. Since this is an introduction to R as well as RStudio, so the next the upcoming calculations we'll be doing, or the programming will be doing on RStudio. So for that, I request again you all to kindly open your browsers and go to the search box and type RStudio. Once you open it, just do it like this. R without any space studio, and RStudio is here. So once you go here, just a minute. Download RStudio is right here in the right top left corner. Download RStudio. Just click on that. Now once you go to download RStudio, the step 1 is install R. So if you want to download RStudio, you first have to download R. As we have already done it, we'll skip this process. And then we'll go to install RStudio and download RStudio desktop for Windows. As I have already downloaded it, it is showing me this thing. And you can simply open, once downloaded, you can simply open and install it. And the screen will look something like this. You will probably see it in white and black environment. Have all the participants downloaded it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Shivam and Swati. Do you have any problem? Shivam Upadhyay and Swati Krishna. I hope each and every person have downloaded it. And then you can simply install it and you will see a window something like this. Is everyone can everyone see the same window in their respective systems? Okay. If anyone is having any issue, just raise your hand. Shivam Upadhyay, do you have any problem? You are raised your hand. Okay, fine. So let's move. I guess if no one, everyone has installed it and opened it. So here, same, you will see these four windows. This is how your our studio will look like. Here is your console. The same things are written as there was in R. Similarly, we have an editor here, and then the environment, whatever you will be typing, what is the environment of that particular variable or anything. And then here we have different things, files, plots, or we can say miscellaneous. This is a miscellaneous window kind of. Different packages, help, viewer, and presentations. So let's begin with that, those uh, same codes. I will just copy it down here from R so that we can see whether they are running or not. So 2 plus 4, 5. It is giving me the same values, reading the same errors. It is working exactly the same, just the environment has changed. Now see, if I write it down here, median, and I just give a single bracket, it will give me the another bracket by itself. So it is a more user-friendly kind of R programming here in our studio. So you can simply put down Y and it will give you median Y equals to 4. So these are some basic things that the packages using the help here. So now we can look for how to install a package here in our studio as well, since it will help us out. So install packages. We
Madam,
can
what
go.
is the use of this four windows?
Okay,
Here
sir.
we are looking in four
Yeah.
windows.
So here, this first one is the R editor, where you will write your program and save it down. This is an R console, where you will run the program. Here, in this one window, you will see files or plots if you draw some graphs or give some commands to draw certain kind of plots, those plots will be shown here in this window. And the values, like say y here is taking value 4, 6, 3, 2, 13 and 4. So this is giving you the values, and it is showing you the global environment and so on. I'm not going into the detail of this, but simply this is giving me the values, what x is taking, what y is taking, basically whatever it is memorizing, it is taking that into account.
Okay, madam. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so till this point we have done the very basic things. Now we'll move on to these are the vectors and these are concatenate. We have done it. Now, if we want to store something in 2 dimension, so for 2 dimension storage, we have we know, what do we call them?
Dr. Rashmi, just sorry for the interruption. Dr. Pandurang, can you please mute your mic? Yeah, thank you. Please proceed.
Yeah, thank you. So we have matrix. So let's see, we have matrices here. Yes, we have matrix. And matrix, if we want to find it down here as well in help, we can put down matrix here, and we can see, and the help will show us the description that how to create a matrix. It takes data, the number of rows and number of columns, and then by rows equals to false, and so on. Fine. So for a matrix, let's say I want to make a matrix of let's say 3 comma 2. So the data can be used for 3 comma 2. I should have the 6 values. So since my y vector is containing 6 values, so my data is stored in y, or I can give my own data as well. Let's say C concatenate 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 and 6, and then n row. So n row equals to number of rows, since 3 cross 2 is there, so 3, and n col equals to 2. This will return me a matrix of dimension 3 cross 2. Now what if I do not write n row and n column? Then what will happen here? So by default, whatever be the third argument, so this particular value will be stored in that second argument n row, and third argument in the n column. Now what if I forgot the particular formula for writing this matrix, and I just kept n col here? What I remembered is that n col and here n row. Then what will happen? Will it return me something? So yes, it will return me with columns 3 and rows 2. So if you write the name of the arguments, then the order doesn't matter. And if you don't write the arguments, the default order will be considered by R for taking the values. Any issue here? Yes, fine. So this is a matrix. Now we can move on to, if we want to go for 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional data, then what we have to do? We have arrays here. We call them array, as we call them in general an array also. So the same keyword is used here as well, array. So this is in base package of our this array function, and we have multi-way arrays, and this will create or test for arrays. So again, array data and then dimension, length of data, and then dimension names. So each and every argument is described here in detail. So now let's make a three-dimensional array. So let's see. Now we'll create our own data. So let's go for and we go for dimensions. And if we see here at the bottom as well, it will give us certain examples here. So let's write it down here. We have 9 values. So 3, 3, 1. So this will give me an array right here. Suppose I have another values. Let's say again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. If this is the 18 values and I want to make array having 3 rows, 3 columns, and this third one number is 2. So this will give me a 3-dimensional array having values 1, 4, 7, 1, 2, 3, and so on, and another one is the same as well. Now, there is one other way, as we can see here, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 9. Is there any other way of writing the same expression? So yes, we could have used 1:9. So this will give me a sequence from 1 to 9 and separated by value 1. So there is another operator for this as well, which is sequence 1, 9. Then if type it down, this will give me 1, 2, 3, 9. So I could have used that as well. So we have array, and then let's say 1 to 9. 1 to 9. Let's see whether it gives us some value or not. So yes, it is giving the same vector as mentioned above. So 3. These are the values. So this is how array is defined. We can have as many dimension as we want. So now these are matrices, these are arrays. Now all of them or the vector have stored the values of same type. Same type in the sense, here we have numeric values. Suppose we want to store numeric as well as character values, then we can use data frames. So for that, let's move on to creating a character. So let's say x underscore char, if I give the name to the variable. And for storing character values, we can use double quotes. So double quotes, let's say A, B, then we have C, then we have D. So these are the character values. And let's say there is some another value y numeric, and I give this value 1, 2, or I can simply give it 1 to 4. So here y is having values 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want to store them, so data dot frame, this is the keyword used, and we can write down x underscore char and y underscore num, and let's run it. So it has stored xchar abcd num. Now suppose we wanted to store it in whether it will be stored in the same manner in matrix or not. So we want a 4 cross 2 matrix. So we can combine xchar. This is the beauty of our studio, that it once you start typing, it starts giving you suggestions. Xchar, comma, y underscore num. Okay, so we want to create a matrix of 4, comma 2. So let's see what it gives you. So here, while using data frame, the basic data type of the particular variable was retained. In xchar, all the values were having character values, so that was retained. For ynum, it was numeric values, so it is retained in data frames. But in matrices, it is not so. So here, what it has done, it has simply coerced the numeric values with character. It converted numeric values to characters. Now you cannot use it to sum or anything else. So this is how here matrix or the matrix is not giving you the same values or the same thing as the data frame. So data frames are used whenever your data is having various data types in the various variables. So you can use data.frame for that. Most of the data, as here we are having people from various fields, all of us are having data. Some data are qualitative in nature, some data are numeric in nature, quantitative in nature. So those type of data will be stored in data.frame or in the data frames only. So this is one of the kind. But here, as we can see, that let's say if I want to make a data frame of, let's say, z num, and I'm giving it 1 to 5. Now if I want to go for data.frame, and I want to combine x character and z num in one data frame, what will it give me? It will create an error and it will say that arguments imply differing number of rows. So number of rows in the first one is 4 and the number of rows in the second one is, or the length of the second one is 5. So it won't create a data frame, it will simply create an error. So in data frames, the data you are combining, they should have the same length. Now from here, I can introduce one thing here as well. Suppose we want to find out the length of a particular vector. So for that, we can simply use the word length and type down znum, and this will give me 5. So the number of or the count of the elements in znum is 5. So length is used widely. Whenever you will do the advanced programming, you have to you will find the use of this particular operator, length operator. So length znum or the function, this will return you the number of elements in the particular vector. Same, if you want to find the dimension of a particular matrix, let's say I stored it in some F matrix and I run it down and I find dimension of F. So this will return me 4, 2. So this is how you can find the dimension of your any matrix and length of any vector. Now let's come to lists. List is another data structure in R. Till now we have discussed data structure, vector, matrices, and arrays, data frames as well. Now comes the list data structure, and these all are called as object in R. Like matrices is one of the object, then we have data frames as one of the object, and list as one of the object. So now here we have used list. Now list, how to use this list. Now let's say it works in the same manner as data dot frame. It also stores the data in its original data type only. So let's go with x char and y num. It has created a list. List 1 contains A, B, C, D, which is character in nature, and second 1, 2, 3, 4, which is numeric in nature. Now let's see whether it can store our znum as well or not. So yes, it can. It created a third list having the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the lists. So list can store list can store the particular variable in the particular data type only. It won't coerce the data type with any other one. So X character has retained its character nature, and Y num and Z num its numeric nature with varying length as well. So if you have data in varying length, you can go with the list function to store that. So let's say I name it LST list. So my list is stored, and LST, I can print that down. 1, 2, and 3, and so on. You can go with that. Okay. So these are the most widely used structures. Now another structure which can be used is factor, which is widely used to store categorical data. Okay, so let's say if I have let's say some name of the individuals as A, B, C, D, or the name of the states, let's say. And these are the states. And if I create a factor, okay, just a minute. So I have stored a vector first and then applied a factor on it. So A, B, C, C, A, this is your data, and the factors are, levels are A, B, and C. So you can store categorical data in factors as well. So this is another data structure in R. So this is the basic data structures discussed in R. Till now, is there any problem which you want to ask, or we can move forward? Since this is basic introduction to R in R Studio. Any participant? I guess I'm teaching it so well that there are no queries.
No, it is very clear, madam. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, sir. Fine. Okay, now. Now what comes next? Now in most, someone has raised the hand. Yes, Satyabhama.
Can we read the values for the matrix row wise instead of column wise?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can do it. Yes. Just a minute. Let me check the chat box as well. There are, I guess, matrix function again. Okay. Create empty list. Okay, fine. Okay. So first thing that has been asked is whether we can arrange the values row wise. Okay. So let us start. Let us take a matrix again here. Let us take this one. Okay, so when I use it, it simply arrange the values by column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now when I search it down here for matrix, it gives me an additional argument which says by row equals to false. So if I write down by row equals to true, then this will give me an arrangement like this 1, 2, 3 by row. It has taken up the values. Ma'am, any issue in that?
This is correct. Okay, I got it. The thing is, when I retrieve values from data frame,
Yes.
it gives, I mean, if I have different types of data, it gives, reads it as characters, even though there are numerical values.
In data frames.
Yeah, in data frame. So while retrieving,
Yes.
can I have only, I mean, numerical values?
Or only numerical values, or you want to keep the data type intact, basically.
Yeah, in that basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, fine. So here we have used a data frame and let's name it as DAT. Just a minute. Why now? Okay, let me create it again. This is the data frame which I have previously used. This is the data frame, right? Now, if I want to retrieve the values of the first column, then let's see whether we can use it or not. We have a $sign and x underscore char. If I put it down like this, I obtain the character values. Now, let's see what ma'am is asking. If I retrieve it y underscore num, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let me check the mode of it, whether it is returning me numeric or it is in character. So, it is in numeric only. So, you can retrieve the data. Very well asked by ma'am. I just forgot to mention how to retrieve the data here. So from this particular data frame, you can use the dollar and use this name here. Whatever the name you have given or whatever the name you have, you can use that particular name and that DAT dollar x underscore cat will give you the values is A, B, C, D. And same goes for ynum as well. Ma'am, is it fine?
Can I change it to numeric values? It says it is not numeric while finding them. Is there any way to change these values to numeric?
Okay, ma'am. Right now it is numeric only. Ynum.
But mode it is not giving, no?
Ma'am, mode it is numeric. Mode here is not that statistical mode, ma'am. Here it is
Okay,
giving
okay. You are telling about the
data type. Yes.
type of the variable. Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. Data type it is same. Now you can apply any operation. Let's say we go for mean.
Okay.
You will obtain the mean here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now there was a question in the chat box, I guess, that Yogesh has asked, can we create empty list and then use it after? So let's see. LSST, let's say, we go with okay, for that, Yogesh, I have to introduce you first to indexing. So I will move on to indexing as well. Yes, Monica. Can the screen be made full screen? Just a minute. Let me do it. Is it visible, ma'am? This is the maximum I can go with. Monica, ma'am. Okay, fine. Okay, so now we'll move on to indexing. Now, what is indexing? If we see here, this mean is giving 2.51. If we see here, let's go to some values, write down. Yes, ynum. Ynum is the vector of length 4 and it is showing 1 here. Now let's say I write down the same ynum and this 1 here. What it will return me? This will give me 1. So at the first position of ynum, 1 is there. At the fourth position of ynum, 4 is there. So y underscore num and in bracket the particular number for the vector. This will give me that particular element at the position 4 of ynum. Similarly, this is for vectors. Similarly, if we want to go for matrices, in matrices, what we have two dimensions. So here we are not having only one value. We have to give two values to get the particular value. Let's say we have a matrix here. This is the matrix. And we want to find the element of the second row and the first column. So let's move on to that. Let's see, we can go. Let me give it a name mat. Mat is here. Mat and print it down. Now I want to find the second row element having the column mentioned in column 1. So let me see whether it gives me an answer. Yes, it gives me an answer 4. So at the second row and the first column, 4 is there. So for any matrix, you can simply in the square bracket give the row number and the column number. It will give you the particular element of that row or the value. Let us suppose that I want the whole second row. I want to make the vector of that. Let's say, let me give it a name, capital R underscore num. And I want to get the whole row, second row. So that's second and comma. After that comma, you can mention 1, 2, 3, and you will obtain ynum. Or if you want the entire row, you can simply delete it. You can simply get, or you can see 4, 5, 6. So if you do not mention any column number, it will give you the entire row. Similarly, if you do not, if you want the entire row but a particular column, let's say 3, then it will give you 3 commas, 3 and 6. So it is simply a vector of length 2 having values 3 and 6. So this is how you can obtain the value. Similarly, you can go with arrays as well. So here in array, let me give it to some name, ARR first, and then let's say I want to find out I want the first row. So if I put it down here, this was my ARR. This was my ARR and 1 comma comma. So this is simply what it gave me: 1 2 1 1 4 4 and 7 7. So 147 and 147. That is all it has given me. Similarly, I can go for let's say 2. So 2 from here, 4 5 6 4 5 6. So it is right down here. I can go with, let's say, this third dimension. So the entire third one will be here. So this is how we can do indexing in vectors, matrices, arrays. Then we have lists. So we have created a list here, LST. LST was here. So here we can see that list 1 is given by double brackets 1, and its elements as 1, 2, 3, and 4. So suppose I want to obtain the second list of this LST, then I can simply put 2 brackets and then 2. It will return me 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I want to get the second element of the third list, it will give me, this is the third list, and its element has to be given in another square bracket, which is 2. This will give me 2. So this is the second element of the third list of the this list LST. So these are all indexing, and this will be used in while mostly using loops or anything else further value checks. So I guess we are only 2 minutes remaining. So till this point, if we have any queries, you can ask. If you have any queries, you can ask.
Hello, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, I'm a little bit slow while installing the R Studio. So first, you are entering so many characters. It is not coming me that 2 plus. Just I tried 2 plus 4. It is not. There is no any command I need to give, madam, for this.
2 plus 4?
Madam, I didn't follow the first steps when you open the 4 tabs.
Okay, fine. I'll just quickly summarize what we have learned in this lecture. So in this session, first session, so we have simply put down 2 plus 4. We have simply used R as calculator. So 2 plus 4, 5 minus 6, all gave me certain results. 2 plus 4 gave me 6, then 5 minus 6 minus 1, 4 cross 5, 2 plus 4, and so on. Okay, I guess Is Control plus R working here as well for everyone?
It is not working for me, ma'am.
It is not working for you. You can press Control plus Enter.
Thank you, madam. Now it is working.
No, okay. So our studio basically does its run using the shortcuts as Control plus Enter. I'm really sorry that I forgot to mention that previously. But you can set it according to your own rules. You can go to Tools and simply Keyboard Shortcuts. Has it changed? Just a minute. Modify Keyboard Shortcuts.
That's the art today. Whatever you are doing, I am unable to do because control R it is not working to me. That's why. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, if you have written it down, then you can use Control plus Enter.
Okay, ma'am.
Each and everyone, you can use Control plus Enter for that, or you can make your own keyboard shortcut. If you are very much comfortable with Control plus R, you can use that down. So we can filter it here. You can write Run, and here you can simply Control plus Enter will be written here. You can simply press Control and R. It will change to that. I am repeating it again. Just a minute. You can go to Tools, go to Modify Keyboard Shortcuts. A window like this will appear. Just in Filter, write down Run. And run current line or selection here. Most of you be seeing Control plus Enter. So you can simply press Control plus R and this will change, and press Enter and apply. And now you all can see that this is working fine.